Long ago, before roads had names and before anyone counted the years, there was a village between two hills. The people there farmed wheat, raised goats, and traded salt with travelers who passed through. Life was slow. Life was simple. One evening, as the sun dropped behind the hills, a stranger walked into the village. He wore a grey cloak, carried no bag, and his eyes looked older than his face. He asked for water at the well, and an old woman gave it to him without a word. "Thank you," he said. "I will stay here for 7 days, and in these 7 days, I will speak to every person in this village. I will say something true to each of them, something they do not want to hear." The old woman left. "Why would you do that?" "Because I want to see who can hold a fire in their hands without burning." She did not understand him. No one did. But strangers were rare, and stories were rarer. So the village let him stay in the old barn near the fields. The next morning, the stranger found the blacksmith, a large man named Doran, hammering iron at his forge. Doran was proud of his strength and louder than anyone in the village. "Doran," the stranger said, "your father was ashamed of you. He told the miller before he died that you were all noise and no wisdom." Doran's face turned red. He dropped his hammer and grabbed the stranger by the collar. "You lie. Take it back." The stranger said nothing. He simply looked at Doran with calm, steady eyes. That night, as Doran walked home still shaking with rage, a wheel from a passing cart broke loose on the hill road. It rolled down fast, and Doran, distracted by his own fury, did not hear it coming. It struck him and broke his leg. He would limp for the rest of his life. The village whispered. Some called it bad luck. Others were not so sure. On the second day, the stranger visited the baker, a woman named Elsa, who was known for her sharp tongue and quick temper. "Elsa," he said, "your bread is only good because your sister taught you the recipe before she left. Without her, you would still be burning loaves." Elsa threw a fistful of flour at him and screamed insults until her voice cracked. She spent the whole day in anger, forgot to check her oven, and burned every loaf she had prepared for market. She lost a full week of income and the trust of several customers. By the third day, people in the village began to notice a pattern. Whoever reacted to the stranger's words, with shouting, with fists, with tears of rage, something went wrong with them soon after. A fall, a fire, a broken tool, a lost sale. Nothing deadly, but always painful, always costly. Words spread quickly. By the fourth day, most villagers refused to even look at the stranger. They crossed the street when they saw his grey cloak, but he did not stop. He found them in their homes, in their fields, at their doors. He found the young farmer, Tomas, ploughing his field alone. "Tomas," the stranger said, "the girl you love does not love you. She only speaks to you because your family has more land than hers." Tomas stopped his plough. His jaw tightened. His hands, still holding the reins, trembled. He wanted to shout. He wanted to throw something. He remembered Doran's leg and Elsa's burned bread. Instead, Tomas took a slow breath. He looked at the stranger for a long moment. "Maybe that's true," Tomas said quietly. "Or maybe it isn't. Either way, I still have this field to plough before it rains." And he turned back to his work. The stranger did not smile. He did not frown. He simply nodded once and walked away. That evening, nothing happened to Tomas. No wheel broke, no fire started. He ate his dinner, fed his goats, and slept without trouble. On the fifth day, the stranger came for the old woman who had given him water on his first night. Her name was Myra, and she had buried 2 husbands and outlived most of her friends. "Myra," he said, "your children do not visit because they are ashamed of how poor you are. They tell their neighbors you died years ago." Myra looked at him for a long time. Her eyes were wet, but her voice did not shake. Maybe they are ashamed, she said. Maybe they lied. I cannot control what is in their hearts, only what is in mine. And in mine, there is no room today for your poison. She picked up her water jug and walked back to her house, slow and steady, her back straight. Nothing happened to Myra that night, either. By the 6th day, the village understood something, even if they could not explain it. The stranger's words were not the danger. The reaction was the danger. Anger blinded people. Rage made them careless. Grief, when it turned into fury, made them forget the world around them. The loose wheel, the unwatched oven, the wet stone on the path. Those who let the words pass through them like wind through a door stayed safe. Those who grabbed the words and let them catch fire inside their chest were the ones who got burned. Not by the stranger, but by their own blindness. On the 7th day, the stranger gathered the whole village near the well. He looked tired now, as if 7 days of speaking hard truths had cost him something. I have one truth left, he said. It is for all of you together. The village stood silent, bracing for pain. None of you needed me to tell you your secrets, the stranger said. Doran already knew his father was disappointed in him. Elsa already knew she depended on her sister's recipe. Tomas already wondered about the girl he loved. Myra already feared her children's silence. I told you nothing new. I only said out loud what you already carried quietly. He paused, and his old eyes moved across every face. The ones who broke were not broken by truth. They were broken because they gave a stranger's words the power to control their hands, their minds, their whole evening. The ones who stayed calm were not calm because the truth didn't hurt. It hurt them too, but they did not let the hurt drive the cart. They kept holding the reins. He looked at Tomas and Myra. You two lost nothing this week. Not because you are stronger than the others, but because you understood something the others forgot. A hard word is only a seed. Whether it grows into a weed that chokes your whole field, or whether it falls on stone and does nothing, that choice belongs to you, not to the one who threw it. Then the stranger turned and walked toward the road leading out of the village, his grey cloak moving with the wind. No one ever saw him again. Some say he was a wandering teacher. Some say he was something older than a man, testing the village the way a river tests which stones will crack and which will stay whole. But the village remembered his lesson for generations. Grandparents told it to grandchildren. When someone insulted a neighbor or spread an unkind rumor, the old ones would say, "Don't grab the fire. Let it pass, or it will burn your own hands, not his." Every harsh word, every insult, every cruel truth thrown at you is just an offer. It is not a command. You are always free to refuse it. The people who reacted with rage in this story are not punished by the stranger. They were punished by their own distraction, by the storm they built inside themselves, which made them blind to the real dangers around them. The loose wheel, the burning oven, the mistakes waiting to happen. The people who stayed calm were not weaker or colder. They simply understood a quiet truth. Your peace is yours to protect. No one can take it without your permission. Reacting to everything is easy. It costs nothing in the moment and everything later. Not reacting, staying calm while the world tries to provoke you, that is not weakness. That is the rarest kind of strength. It is a luxury few people ever learn to afford. But the ones who do, walk through life with their leg unbroken, their bread unburned, and their reins always in their own hands.